What's up YouTube, Dale here for Zephyr Wargames, bringing you an updated Lightsworn deck profile. Now as you can see, we have got Curious, the Lightsworn domain, which comes out in Extreme Forces in a few weeks time. So we're trying to get ahead of the curve right here and show you what the deck can look like when this card comes out, as well as Skuldate, the Chained Draco Serpent, which may actually have its name changed. Regardless, it is incredible artwork and incredibly powerful card. So, without further ado, I'm going to take you through the 60 card Lightsworn version. Now, at this moment in time, because we don't have these two cards here, if you do want to replace them, you can put stuff in like Proxy Dragon if you want to be playing them right here, right now. Proxy Dragon, Gaia Saber the Lightning Shadow, Bujinte Tsukiyomi, Clearwing the Synchro Dragon, the Utopia package if you wish. They are your options. But now, this is your chance to get these as a proxies, thanks to the Shy Pianist or Donald of Zephyr Wargames, who made these for us, and they do look incredibly good, almost authentic like. We do not promote the use of fake cards. These are purely for our testing abilities and for us to show off the deck in real life rather than on YUGIOH Pro and stuff like that. So, without further ado, we're going to get through the 60 card Lightsworn deck. Now, this is angled more towards the Lightsworns themselves than the mixture of the Lightsworn and zombies. It's got a nice balance there. What I will mention right now is we do play Left Arm Offering, but we don't play any of the hand traps, so that is where your chance is to kind of counteract the deck. If there's Lightsworn side, if you want to focus more on a balanced build, you can take out your JDs and stuff like that. Move them in for your Ash Blossoms, your Ghost Ogres and stuff like that. However, this is as balanced as I can get it, and it's very, very powerful because I really like JD itself. In the sense that it's an incredibly powerful card, and including with Curious, the Lightsworn domain, it now gives us 8 targets throughout the entire deck and extra deck of Lightsworn monsters that can be in the graveyard to trigger JD. So it gets a little bit more consistent and just a bit more powerful. So we start off with double JD. Now I have abilities to search this in the deck, mainly with Minerva and of course wherever it's hiding. Minerva and Eclipse Wyvern. So you do have abilities to search this guy out in a 60 card deck. That's kind of what you need to do. You can play this at 3. The main reason I'm playing it at 2 is because I only have 2 ultimates and I can't bring myself to break the pair up of having 2 ultimates and a brilliant one of the reprinted ultras. Regardless, at 2 is probably more than enough in this sense, because when you want it, you can search it out. You have the ability to search it out when and when you please, because you do have stuff like Foolish Burial. You've got Curious that can send stuff to grave as well. You've also got Minerva that can mill for you on top of other cards you play, like the rest of your Lightsworn engine. Speaking of which, we play triple Lumina Lightsworn Summoner. Now, obviously, this is quite helpful with the zombie builds because you can start getting your dead cards in hand into the graveyard, like your Snows, your Raiden, stuff like that, circle them around and kind of make your plays live. Let's not forget that what you want to be doing with this deck is milling as much as you possibly can, because that Snow, as you saw in the duel video of Lightsworns versus Invoke, can be incredibly powerful. And they did also do really, really well at YCS Rimini, I believe, or YCS London, one of the two. And of course, we do have a Yu-Gi-Oh! London Open coming up on the 20th as well. And then just after that, we will get the new set. And hopefully, Curious, the Lightsworn domain, can bring them back around to the light. Triple Raiden. Obviously straightforward, this is the one you want to be searching and stuff like that. Like I said, this is more favoured toward the Lightsworns, which is why we play Triple Raiden, Triple Wolf, Solar Recharge and stuff like that. But you do play the Zombie Engine because that just takes it to a whole new level. So we play Triple Wolf. Yes, these are triple bricks. You do not want to open these, but ideally if you open up these, you want the ability for Lumina to get rid of it. You just want stuff to get it back into the graveyard because that's where it serves its purpose more so than not. So obviously it has to go from the deck to the graveyard to be special summoned, but that's where Curious can help extend your plays that way as well. We also play 2 Felice, again, because of Curious as well. She has the ability that when she's summoned, when she's link summoned, so Curious, if this card is link summoned, you can send 1 card from your deck to the graveyard. And then if any card is sent from your deck to the graveyard by an effect, you send 3 more from the top of your deck to the graveyard. So it gives you that extra 3 card mill as well, which is again why we want Felice there at 2. Not to mention Felice's own effect of triggering itself or to pop a monster your opponent controls, which can be very, very helpful. And then you mill 3 more as well. The one Lila, this is a bit of a back row kind of drag out, and on top of that, she's also there to be helpful as another name in the graveyard. And then the final Lightsworn monster we play in the main deck is Minerva Lightsworn Maiden. So obviously when it's normal summoned, you add your JD, but when it gets milled, you get to send the top card of your deck to the graveyard, so it gives you an extra plus mill. Then you get to send 2 more, so you get a +2 more off of your mills, which is, like I said, what you want in this deck. Now for the zombie engine, we play triple Mizuki, straightforward on that one, triple Shiranui Solitaire, and double Unizombie. You can play Unizombie at 3 if you want, but ideally you don't want Unizombie to be coming off of just your normal summon. You want your Solitaire to then turn into a Unizombie to help extend your plays with your Mizuki. And what you've got to remember with Unizombie is it locks you into the zombies for that turn. Now, it'd be very, very interesting when Vampire Sucker comes out. Hopefully, we do get it at the same time that the OCG do, in the same set the OCG does, which is the Flame of Destructions, which come out in a few more months, because then you'll definitely be putting that bad girl in this deck, because not only does it bring back zombies, it then lets you draw cards as well, so it's very, very powerful and very, very useful. The rest of the zombies, we play the one Shiranui Spirit Master and the one Gozuki. Again, there's a lot of combo plays that can work off of the new cards on top of this. So it's a nice small zombie engine. Like I said, if you want to favour the zombies more over the Lightsworns and call it a Shiranui deck or a zombie deck or a zombie swan deck, then by all means you can do so. And that's where Ash comes in, because Ash is also a zombie. So believe it or not, you can bring Ash back with Mizuki, and then you've got Synchro 7 plays and stuff like that. For the plant engine, it's quite standard on this one. We play triple Lone Fire, and now I choose to play double Scorpio, because it's a bit of a dead draw after the fact. So ideally what you want is you want your Lone Fire. That's what you want more than your Scorpios. You just want to have the ability of Lone Fire, burning through your deck to get into a Scorpio. You can play Scorpio at 3, there's no arguments with that. It's just an option for you to choose. And then of course the one Predator Plant, Darlington Cobra. Now what you've got to remember in this deck as well is your ideal is either opening up your Brilliant Fusion play, which is this card here, which gives you the extra normal summon and lets you build your board, or it's getting Grass. Now obviously getting Grass again extends your boards and makes your plays go absolutely mental. So for the other cards not in their own little archetypes, we've got triple Fairy Tale Snow, busted card, incredibly powerful card. Double Goblinberg, again this kind of helps your combos go off and can get your wolves and stuff out of your hand as well. The one Trick Clown, you're comboing off of your Darlington Cobra kind of Brilliant Fusion plays. Your Eclipse Wyvern, again you want to banish it with Snow to get your JD, and obviously gets your JD as well. One Thousand Blade, obviously we know the combo that goes with Trick Clown. Your Giant Rex, and the reason we play Giant Rex in here is, again, if you do it with Snow, you've got a rank 4 play straight there and there. On top of that, we do play Left Arm Offering, so having a Giant Rex in hand, and of course having an Eclipse Wyvern in hand if you've already got a banished JD, like if you've milled a JD, banished it with Snow, stuff like that. Having these two in hand doesn't become the end of the world. That's where you can just go, cool, Left Arm Offering, get your Grass, banish those two monsters, Giant Rex will come back, and then you get to mill your 20 as well. So that's why we play the Left Arm Offering kind of variant. And then lastly for our monster is the Gem Knight Garnet, because you need this brick in your deck to finish off your Gem Knight plays. Some people play it at 2, you can obviously do it at 2, it gives you just a bit more consistency in case you mill it. Which, you know, like I said, in this deck you're probably going to do. It just gives you a couple of options. Next up for the spells, we play triple Solar Recharge. You know, pitch a Lightsworn monster, draw 2, and then send up to 2 cards. It's very, very nice. Charge, obviously send the top 3 of your deck to the graveyard, add a level 4 or lower Lightsworn monster to your mill, and then add. Again, obviously comboing off with these, you can take out Solar Recharge because it's less required in the deck if you want to go more focused on the zombie. So again, there are 3 more targets you can bring out for hand traps. Triple Brilliant Fusion, again, straightforward and simple on that one. Triple Left Arm Offering, because we want to be getting to our Grass as soon as we possibly can. Double Pot of Desires, because this deck can run 2 Omegas, and you can bring back your banished monsters, banished cards, should I say, very, very consistently when you make Omega as well. So Pot of Desires is never at the end of the world, plus that the extra 2 card draw can be very, very helpful. You can always tech in if you wanted to, not that I highly advise it, but you can always tech in a Necro Face to get you these cards back. Double Gold Sart, you can play this at 3 if you wish. I've cut it down to 2. Again, it's very, very helpful because you can out certain cards with this by banishing your Spirit Master. Again, it's also other ways of banishing like Giant Rex if you need an extra rank 4 play. And of course, banishing your Grass, but you have to wait to get it back. Speaking of which, we play the 1 Grass, the 1 Solar Recharge, and the 1 Foolish Burial. Now, we don't play any set cards because we do get locked out with the Left Arm Offering. Most of them cards come in the side deck. That is where obviously your hand traps can also reside, bringing in your hand traps from your extra your side deck. Now onto the extra deck. We will start with our Synchro monsters. Now this is a pretty standard lineup. You can change any of these out for certain monsters if you wish. It just gives you a couple of options. So Black Rose Dragon to kind of reset the board can be very, very powerful. Your Michael the Arch Lightsworn obviously gives you that mill plus the banish plus the 2600 beta. Your Scarlet Red Dragon Archer, and you don't have to play this, it's just a nice little card to play, and it can kind of win you games for the pure fact that you bring this bad boy out, 3k beater, and then nuke your board if you want to, because most of them are going to be special summoned, and then burn your opponent down, which can be very, very cool. Double Cyphering Lord Omega, because it is busted as hell. Banish this card, rip one from your opponent's hand, or leave it on the board. Stand by phase, return one of your banished monsters like a Mizuki, start looping your Mizukis around, then rip one from your opponent's hand. And of course, it's coming back to a main monster zone, not an extra monster zone, so it's busted as hell in this deck. Now for our XYZs, we play the one rank 3, and that is MX Saber Invoker. That's obviously for our Predaplant play, to get us into a Misius Radiant, and move our boards through that way. The rank 4s we play is the one number 41 Baguska. Now this will be the one card that I've considered dropping for a second Minerva in this build specifically, because it is Lightsworn, more Lightsworn based. I just think Baguska is still incredibly powerful to kind of stall your opponent down a little bit if you do get a slow hand. The one Tornado Dragon, deal with that opponent's back row, just a very, very nice generic rank 4. And then of course the one Minerva. Now hopefully the reason that I have kept it as one Baguska and one Minerva is because by the time you've made your first Minerva, especially with of course Skull Dread and Curious, you should already have a board presence that's going to deal with what your opponent has to offer. If you don't, and that's probably where you might have gone wrong, or that's where you need a second Minerva. But one kind of does the job. There's the odd time that you go, oh, I wish I had a second one, but it's kind of been outweighed by the fact that Baguska can just be too powerful to deal with. The one Gem Knight Seraphonite, again, straightforward and simple on that. And then for our Link Monsters, so we start our Link Monsters off with the Misius Radiant. Obviously, most of us are zombies, I believe it is, or like Mizuki and Gozuki are Earth Monsters, so you're going to get a nice little buff off of that. Plus, it's a straightforward into with your Gem Knight Seraphonite plays and stuff like that, so it's a very, very nice staple Link 2 to make in this deck. Our Link 3s, we play the one Deco Talker, incredibly powerful card, especially with the boost it gets. On top of that, you could take the Deco Talker out for a second Curious, the Lightsworn Dominion, but it's entirely up to you. Now, Curious requires 3 monsters with the same attribute but different types. So it's a little bit more specific to make, which is why it's more required of your Lightsworn monsters. Now, we do play obviously a hefty amount of light monsters with your Performer Power Trick Clown, your Fairy Tale Snows, and of course, obviously, all your Lightsworn monsters on top of that. Which is why we play a fairly healthy amount of Lightsworn monsters to kind of be able to make it. When it's link summoned, you get to send one card from your deck to the graveyard. Again, very, very powerful. You can get your wolf and kind of make your plays that way. And then if a card or cards is sent from your deck to the graveyard by an effect, send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. So it's an extra nice little double mill. We played the one Borrelo Dragon. We all saw in that video how busted Borrelo Dragon can be, and he is incredibly powerful and very, very useful in the deck. And then finish it off with the one Skuldreet, the Chained Draco Serpent. Incredibly powerful card. Very, very strong. Even though he's only 2800, he is a Link 4, and he requires 2 or more monsters with different names. This card gains effects based on the number of monsters used for its Link summon. 2 or more if a monster is normal summoned or special summoned to a zone this card points to, that monster gains 300 attack and defense. 3 or more, once per turn you can special summon 1 monster from your hand. Bastard. 4 or more, when this card is link summoned you can draw 4 cards, then place 3 cards from your hand to the bottom of your deck in any order. So, you draw 4, you put a wolf or a Felice back into your deck. You put another one back into your deck. You kind of unbrick your hand and +1 with a 2800 beater on board with 3 link markers below it. What more could you possibly want from a card? It is still very, very cool, and I do love the artwork. It does look like a Spawn, like the comic book character Spawn. It's like if he had a pet dragon, this is what it would be. Anyway, it is an incredibly fun card and a powerful card, and it will definitely be one of the chase cards from the set. I'll be massively surprised if it's not a secret in Extreme Forces. Now, we do know that Curious the Lightsworn Domain, disappointingly, but also quite happy with, is only a super, so it's very, very easy, or it should technically be very, very easy to get hold of. And being a super, the only downside is you want Lightsworns to be a nice little high rarity deck. Regardless, as a super, it's very, very easy for all you guys to get hold of it, especially with those that have built the deck from the set that came out, the light set, the reprinted Minerva in and stuff like that. So it should be a nice little deck for you guys to get hold of and, you know, have a lot of fun with. You can make a 40 card version. You can take out the zombie engine and turn it into just a Lightsworn deck. It's very, very powerful, very, very cool, and it still will hang around the meta unless it gets a massive slap from the ban list, which I hardly see coming in this moment in time. Obviously, the only things that can probably get hit would be like the staple cards. Grass has already been hit, so the only thing that they can do with that is ban it, which it doesn't see enough play to deserve to be banned. If anything, they could technically bring it back to 2, if not 3, so that might be another thing to keep your eyes out on. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. If you like this type of video with more proxies in, then do let us know, and we will make you some more proxy decks so you guys can get a head start on building the cards and a head start on building the decks for the cards you're going to want from Extreme Forces, and get to earmark exactly what you're going to need and exactly what you're going to want. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Like I've said a million times before, we are building up to our 2nd year anniversary, and my gosh, like I said, there is a week of giveaways, and this week goes from the 14th to the 21st. That fits in very, very nicely with the Counter Fairies deck that comes out, as well as loads of other little bits and bobs that we've got to give away for you guys, especially an incredibly rare mat to give away as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. Join our social media on Facebook. Keep up to date with us. That's where you're going to hear about all this stuff first. And of course, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and the whole 9 yards. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling. Also, YouTube, thanks for watching that video. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button. And of course, don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button in the bottom left-hand corner and the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. We've got more deck profiles, duels, pack openings, and many more Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos coming up for you all year round. So don't forget to stay tuned for all of that. Thanks, and as always, guys, happy dueling.